Welcome to one and all. That is the CD launch of Jazz Standards in the Tambrin Source. I'm really glad to be here with my friends today. We are at this lovely place in the Kaiwat village called the Ajupa for yoga. Well, they do yoga here, but really and truly, it's a beautiful hotel, beautiful space in the back with wonderful garden space, and you'll see some more of that later on in the show. And I want to talk to you about what we're going to be doing today. 6 songs from the album, all right? And the songs are all varied. You'll hear more about them as the show progresses. But I want to start by introducing you to the musicians. On the roller, which is one of the type of tambourin, this is Lorenzo Smith. Next to him would be Xavier Purcell Smith. He's on the boom, which is like the bass drum. The next him, the indomitable man we call Wax, Lawrence Crooks. He's on the cutter, which is similar to the snare. All right, and they're creating a rhythm background there for me. And of course, Colin Jamoy Alexander, top-notch, top-rank UTT graduate, and certainly one of the great drummers, son of the soil. Next day, my special guest with us from Trinidad, Tony Paul is known by, but he's actually Anthony Woodruff Jr., and he's playing both flute and saxophone today, and we're really happy to have him as part of the project. And then we have young Carol Warner, daughter of the great Lincoln Warner, and I know since she's small and she has grown up to be one of our top fine musicians on the island. And next to her is the man I met him only 1 year ago, but beautiful musician, has a nice sense of timing. This is Savio. Savio, you know, I only know you by Savio. What's your last name? Providence. Yes, my goodness. Everybody, I just know them by names. All right, so these are the wonderful musicians who are part of the project. And we want to start things off with this song, Bluesette, which is in a 3/4 timing and a jazz standard. Thank you very much, and do enjoy the show, Jazz Standards in the Tambrin Source. Remember, the Accra, the Polori, all of them don't taste right until you dip it in the sauce. The jazz, we're going to create this Bago Jazz feel, and this is Bago Jazz time with the Tambrin Band. Do enjoy. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. right, thank you guys. That's Blue Set, and again, that's a song in 3/4 timing, and the tambrin, of course, or indigenous drum. Let me just tell you a bit about the tambrin. As you can see from your extreme right, that would be the roller, and in the middle of the tambrin band would be the boom, and then wax is on the cutter. So these three are the fundamental drums for the tambrin band. And featured here, of course, remember that's the sauce, the letter sauce we dip in. Also, wax? Yeah, but you call it crab sauce. But I call it tamarind sauce. Tamarind sauce. Right down to the grippity, you're going to want this stuff here, right? All right, so now it's time for putting the jazz into the Tobago rhythms, which is the reel and jig. And featured here is Carol Warner, young, really beautiful and wonderful musician. Let's welcome Carol. 1, 2, 2. can rehearse that, right? You have to just do that live. Thank you very much, Carol. That was boss, man. Lovely, lovely. Yeah. That's all organic right here. By the way, you know, as I told you, we are at the Jupa in the Kariwak village. Beautiful, beautiful venue. And I'll talk to you about just the ambience here. Wax, what do you think? Yeah, perfect. I mean, Kayla, what are your thoughts? Amazing. Yeah. Quinton. Smith. Amazing. Savio, what's your feel? Unique. I love that. All right, so we move on to another song. This one's called, another standard. This one's called Autumn Leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. featuring, of course, my friend Anthony Woodruff, better known as Tony Paul, right? Yeah. Tony Paul. And now we're going to have the Tambrin playing in some bossa nova. And on this, we're going to have, of course, my friend Kaylan Jamoy. He's going to be soloing on this one also, apart from the Tambrin, which we're featuring today as our beautiful Tambrin sauce, all right? bossa nova, that's blue bossa. And this time, blue bossa, you know, in the bossa nova rhythms, pretty much close to Latin America. But, and of course, in that one, again, pretty organic this evening because some of those things we didn't plan. And didn't even happen in the rehearsal, but this is good stuff. Really good stuff, right? Really good stuff. All right, so this time we want to do one that's called, it's a more smooth jazzy one where we have taken a big hit, big, well-known standard, Take the A Train, and this one will feature everybody again, all right? A little bit of smooth jazz feeling. All right, let's take this one, Kenan. Yeah. Wax, how you feel? Tell me how you feel. Yeah, tell me how you feel on the Tambrin. No, you know what you should do? Seeing that we have all our viewers online, is really talk about the magic of this Tambrin drum. Talk about it. Yeah, just go, move the mic a little, yeah.
Basically, what would have then happened when you spoke to me concerning this fusion, jazz in Tambrin source, I went home and I gave it a study. I said it's a very good vent here. Because basically, we are used to this reel and jig. As you know, the Tambrin been given an opportunity to go some notches up.
Yep.
And I grasped at the think about it, and I said, well, okay, Mr. Anal, let us try. And he told me, well, we start at November, and it's what happened.
Yeah.
And I slept on that for months to make it a reality.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
I know that people will be marveled to know that the same tumbuk could be so because, basically that's
I love that.
Tumbuk. But then there is, as the saying goes, when the students are ready, the teacher will appear. So, Mr. Anal, to you, kudos, because you have done.
Well, no, it's not about me, it's just about Tobago, just moving the dial a little bit further.
I guess that you send the signal that your father is going to bed very early, because it is said early to bed, early to rise, making healthy, wealthy, and wise. And you are sure.
Wow.
Keep up the good works.
Yeah, I know. We'll talk a bit more about that. All right, so we want to end this set with this song, which is in the 5/4 timing, take 5. I'm really glad that Tony Paul made himself available. And we're really happy to have Tony. Tony, I don't know what it means, but he's almost an honorary Tobagonian now, he has the roots. And certainly, we're really glad to have him. Glad to have Savio, glad to have Kaelan. And Kaelan and myself found ourselves doing so many things during the COVID. It's all fun now to be doing this project. Kaelan, I mean, how you feel about the project? Let me hear.
Yeah, blessings. Well, honestly, right, this is innovation at its highest. While jamming with Carol and the Tambrin, I was like flying here. Magic.
Yeah, that was
it's an honor.
Yeah, that was magic. That was sure magic there, yeah. Certainly magic. All right, so take 5. Let's see if we can get that off the road, right? Yeah, take five. Well, that's What a set, I tell you, what a set. I do hope you enjoyed that. That was, wow. Of the album, Jazz Standards in the Tambrin Source. Do hope you enjoy that. And we go now to live studio where we will talk with you. Feel free to interact with us as we talk. The music, the concept, the album, how you can get a copy of the album, and how you can experience some of the magic of what we did today. All right, Tony, while we are here,
Hi,
right?
John.
Yeah, I mean, what's your feeling after watching that? Yeah, just experiencing that.
Well, it's always weird listening back after the fact, but it was so much fun. Like I particularly enjoyed listening to your play, like when you were playing with Carol. But it's such a fun project to be included in. So I mean, again, thank you, thank you for the call. You know,
Yeah,
I will
yeah,
always
yeah.
answer.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I love to do is always kind of, you're like my first call when I think of, solos and getting stuff done in this particular genre. I always look to you. I want to thank all of you who came on live. I actually followed you all on Facebook. I know there's some on Lots Drawn, which is another podcast feature that we also do every week, and also on my page on YouTube. Really want to thank all of you for being here, and we had a ball. It's a pioneering effort, and really and truly, we do have the album. Have some copies, and they're available. It's easy, and you can WhatsApp me, text me, email me, and yeah, I can even get them posted out to you. You just add that to the cost of the CD. But they're all reasonably cost anyway. So we have them available. Feel free to contact me. And it's very interesting trying to see if we can place the tambourine in another space, just like some of the other drums like DAF and the what they call the tablet tone frame drum. And actually, Tony, that's the actual aim, to really start discussing the story about the Tobago tambourine. People like Axback and Brooks and some of those guys that are still with us, that we now want to talk about how we can take all the knowledge bearers
And document it
and start
preserve it.
documenting it.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things, because the jazz standards are so well known, I really hope that this opens a pathway for us to talk about what drums were those. Just like how we talk about the Udu and,
Yeah.
I know that you teach at UTT, so maybe I know our listeners, you can tell us, a little bit about what you all are doing there, and in particular what you are doing. I think that's important because there's an education element that we can discuss also on this.
So what I do at the academy is I teach all of the jazz and contemporary related courses, because the Bachelor in Fine Arts has been, the way we've designed it is that after the second year, when you move into third, you choose a pathway, and we have 4 distinct pathways. One of them being performance, which is Western classical music, which I think people think that's the only thing we do at the academy, but it's really not. So there's the performance pathway, there's the teaching artist pathway, which is where students can focus on pedagogy and develop the skills necessary to move into education. The third pathway is ethnomusicology, which is where something like this would really come into, like, to be a great project for a student to take on.
Correct.
In terms of researching our music, because the whole point of ethno is that you do research, and you do research on cultures and the effect that music has on developing those cultures. So I think the tambourine is something that students could look into, because
Definitely.
they they have leeway. We're not telling them, well, this is what you have to research. They have the option of
Right.
choosing something to go into. And the final pathway, the one that I actually lead, is the jazz pathway. Now, calling it the jazz pathway is is sort of a misnomer, because as much as in the third year we look at traditional jazz and we look at what jazz started as, the whole point of the pathway is the same way that jazz and contemporary music developed out of the harmony and theory from Western classical music, obviously with influences from Africa and other places. The jazz is more used as a stepping stone for the student to get to whatever contemporary music that they're interested in, but with the hope that they take the theoretical knowledge that they've gained to add it to whatever interests they have. So that's the pathway that I lead, and so far it's seen a few graduates who are active in the industry.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
We've seen a few more in terms of capacity building for Tobago. I see Leno Winchester, she says, wow, this is brilliant. Tabiti says, this is nice. Ruth Brown out of New York, she says, great set, thanks to all. And Camille Salvon Abrahams,
colleague.
but that's a colleague also, yeah. Sean is also there, Alison. Zandra, she says, music magic. Denise out of Canada, she says, love this. Kern Kawan, he is showing his own 2 cents. Beautiful. Great job on the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great job on the mix. Yeah, thanks there to Cleon Richardson. Ruth Brown, she says, Blue Bossa is lovely. Yeah, she loves that. Mr. King, Kevin McKenna, I see Vonna Bigfoot, she was inside also. We also saw Denise Soifat Angus. Congratulations on the launch. And Camille says, oh, she needs this. Sunday, it's like Sunday magic. She actually asks, is this weekly? We'd love it to be weekly. I would love this to be weekly. Yeah, no, it's not weekly.
Things need to open up in a big way.
Yeah, things have to open up a bit.
Especially for the arts. We need things.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things looking back on the video is that to use their jupa, we had to all be bare feet.
Yeah.
Right? And it's amazing how that worked. We had to go back, because it's out of the respect for the place. But Kariwak Village, what are your thoughts? I thought that's such a unique venue. It's like memorable. It always evokes memories,
To me, Karawak is one of those places that is iconic as a place to stay in Tobago. In terms of some of the story with Clive Zander being involved in the design of the space.
Yes.
It's really, really wonderful, because it is really a place that you go to just unplug and unwind. No televisions in the bedrooms.
Unplugged.
No televisions in the bedrooms. It's quiet spaces. There's the yoga where we actually filmed. So it's really, really a wonderful place. I think they grow some of their own kitchen garden stuff as well.
Yes.
So the food is always amazing, and it's such a wonderful place to be.
Yeah. Coming out of the COVID, and I think one of the things that was really good yesterday is that the musicians were all vaccinated, which was a good idea. That way, it really provides a nice, safe environment. But I think moving forward, Tony, what you're going to see is that you're going to have this big demand as we open up a little more for persons to be vaccinated. And in the cases where they're not vaccinated, obviously we need them tested.
Yeah.
But I think overall, we can say that, the music industry, we've lost. Normally they say for resilience is about it's really the power of how something you bent or something that came out of shape, how can it come back as it was before? But I think in this case, the resilience is a little different. We're coming back to something which is great, but it's not going to be exactly as how it was before.
I think during this period, a lot of musicians especially have had to rethink the way that they present their product. And skills that they've developed and just their concept and approach has changed. So yes, it's not going to go back to being exactly the same. So like even the way that we recorded this project where you reached out to me, I'm in Trinidad, I recorded it and I sent it to you. And then even when we recorded the live portion of today, when we recorded, I came in the morning and basically from the airport, we went to Karawak and that was it. We got on stage, we rehearsed it and then we recorded it. So that's like really quick turnover, but the product is excellent, which speaks to the ability of the Tambrin and particularly those musicians to be able to adapt.
Yes.
And be in, to create something that is special and unique, but still retain the essence of what that rhythm and the culture of it.
Yeah,
Another music.
the jazz genre and the jazz style was kind of unique. Not so much to Wax, but Wax is listened to, but to the other young musicians who I really want to thank, both Lorenzo and Purcell. And they really adapted pretty fast because on Monday we had a rehearsal with them alone. Okay. Just the Tambrin, to make sure they understood what we wanted to get. But I think overall, we really, really enjoyed this. And I just want to invite all of you out there to join with us and celebrate this, another move and another addition to what we call the pantheon of jazz music. I tend to call it Bego jazz because, following in the steps of Creole jazz and all the other jazz, Latin jazz, Celtic jazz, which speaks to particular areas. So all these new forms, I tend to call it that, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm sure as we move forward, as I said, let me thank everybody for tuning in. And also let me again repeat that I want to thank Tony, Wax, Savio, Callen, Wax, Carol, and also Carol. I mean, Carol was so good on that piece. And I mean, what's interesting is like somebody said to me, just before we close, what about now we need a pan the Tambrin? But one of the things why I always wanted the pan in, but I thought we needed to now kind of make sure that the Tambrin get its space to show off. And then later on, we will now talk about Tambrin, pan, and jazz. So it wasn't that I don't want the pan. I want the pan.
One step at a time.
Well, one step at a time.
Leave stuff for people to get into and that kind of thing.
So, I mean, it was really to give the Tambrin its focus on this time. So again, thank you very much. Remember, every Saturday evening at 6 o'clock, we have our normal podcast, Lots Drawn. Feel free to join with us, and you can go back and look at some of the interesting topics. We had one on herbs last week, the herbs my mama taught me. And just before that, we had 3 weeks of What is Soca? So you can check us out online. Let me also thank Joshua and the excellent work both him and Marvin did, and Cleon, amazing work on the videography. Also Chantel, Kawani, and all those who really helped. Thank Maisha at Karawak, Alan Clovis at the Karawak village. I hope I'm not forgetting too many people. But I really want to thank everybody for the help that we've done to make this a very successful venture. And looking forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.
Take care.